So good morning. Today we are going to solve two problems on forced vibrations, that is force damped vibrations. We have categorized the damped vibrations in two categories. One is free damped vibration and another one is a forced damped vibration. So the forced damped vibration is also simply called forced vibration. How the damped vibration of free category and forced category varies is, in case of free damped vibration, the damping is provided and the initial force is given to vibrate the body, and subsequently there is no additional external force is applied. That is the category 1, which we have seen in the lecture number 8, the problems associated to them. Then coming to the today's lecture, the problems what we are going to deal is forced damped vibration. Forced damped vibration, that means there is a simultaneously two components exist. One is a continuous external exerting force, that is external force which is fed continuously, and the second one is damping is also artificially provided. So it is the general case where you can see in realistic life the problems comes under this category, because we intentionally provide some damping so that your systems can run in a systematic manner, so that they can be on safe side, because we have seen in magnification factor and transmissibility graphs, that is zeta omega by omega n, and magnification factor and transmissibility there, even if you get a smooth operation once omega by omega n is greater than 1, but they have to pass omega by omega n less than 1 also. In that cases there is some amount of zeta is essential, that is the damping is essential. So this is the category of the problem which generally it comes. Let us see what is the problem and how we can proceed to solve this problem. A machine part having a mass of 2.5 kg vibrates in a viscous medium. So when you see a term called viscous medium, means definitely it is associated to a problem with the damping. So what is the mass? Mass is 2.5 kg. So mass is given 2.5 kg. A harmonic exciting force of 13 newtons acts on the part and causes a resonant amplitude of 14 mm with a time period of 0.22 second. So the external force, a continuous force F of 13 newtons is applied, and which causes a resonant amplitude. Amplitude is a resonant amplitude. This term is very important. Don't take it as simply amplitude, it is a resonant amplitude. So which is equal to 14 mm. And the corresponding time period is 0.22 seconds. Okay, then find the damping coefficient. That is the first part of the problem. Find the damping coefficient. If the frequency of the exciting force is changed to 4 Hz, so this is A bit. Then B bit is if the exciting force is changed to 4 Hz. So that is a new case where the exciting force is 4 Hz. So the frequency in the new frequency is 4 Hz. Okay, determine the increase in amplitude of the forced vibration upon the removal of the damper. That means no damper, zeta 0. You are supposed to find out amplitude of the forced vibration, amplitude of forced vibration, and the rise with respect to the initial value. So this is what the data available in the problem. So let us see how to solve the first part of the problem. So from the given data, mass is there, okay, and resonant amplitude is there and time period is there. So with this, first we can find out omega n. So that is, the frequency is a resonant frequency. So the vibration is a natural vibration, and then omega n is equal to 2 pi by time period. We were given with a time period of 0.22. So if you write 2 pi by 0.22, then it gives 28.56 radians per second. That is the first part. So we know that at resonance, omega is equal to omega n. That is, external frequency is equal to natural frequency omega n. We also know a formula, basic formula, omega n is equal to root k by m. Omega n is equal to root k by m. Okay, so that is 28.56 is equal to root k by m. K, m mass is 2.5. So then calculate, you get the value of k, that is the stiffness of the spring, which is 2039 Newton per meter. So if you write it Newton per mm, this becomes 2.039 Newton per mm. This is Newton per meter. Okay, this is the first part. Then what is asked? Find the C, that is the damping part is asked. So how to obtain this? So we have an equation for force damped vibration. A is equal to F by K over 1 minus omega by omega n square whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square. This is known to us. A is equal to F by K by root over 1 minus omega by omega n square whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square. This is the general equation, a common equation, that is the amplitude of the force damped vibration. It is already derived in the previous lectures. Then let us see here what we have. The resonant amplitude is there, left hand side, A is there, okay, and in our case it is a natural frequency. Omega is omega n, that means omega by omega n is equal to 1. So if you substitute that part in this equation will be simply converted as 1 minus 1 square whole square plus 2 zeta 1 square, that is F by K by, this is 0 and this is 2 zeta whole square under root, this is 2 zeta. Okay, so A is equal to F by 2 zeta K. F is equal to, you can write F is equal to 2 zeta K A. Okay, and what is here our requirement? Our requirement is zeta. So how to get the zeta? Let us see. So A is equal to F by 2 zeta K, then zeta is equal to, this is 2 AK by F. So amplitude, which is in terms of meters, let us write it 14 into 10 power minus 3 K 2039, because I am substituting everything in meter, by F 30. So with this substitution, you get the value of the zeta, which is equal to 0.526. Zeta is equal to 0.526. But our requirement is C. We know in a forced damped vibration, C is equal to 2m omega n zeta. So let me substitute the entire information which is known to me. 2.5 omega n 28.56 zeta 0.526. So if you substitute this data here, you get the value of C, which is equal to 75.04 Newton second per meter. So Newton second per meter. So because you have substituted everything in meter terminology, okay, so you get 7504 Newton second meter. If you want to write it for Newton per mm, then it will become, this is by 1000 if you write. So this is 0.075, this is 75.04, sorry, 75.04. 75.04. Okay, then if you write in Newton second per mm, will be 10 power minus 3, that is so this is Newton second per meter, that is converted into Newton second per mm, that is into 10 power minus 3. Okay, so by 1000 if you write, it will become 0.07504 Newton second per mm. This is the A part of the problem, isn't it? So let us see how to continue the B part. So the part B of the problem is what is asked: determine the increase of the amplitude of the forced vibration upon the removal of the damper. So damper is removed, that is zeta becomes 0. Then in that case, what is given? So the frequency of the exciting force is changed to 4 hertz. So you are given with a new frequency, that is 4 hertz. 4 hertz is the new frequency F. Okay, so what is omega? Omega is equal to 2 pi F. So 2 pi F, that is 2 into pi into 4. So which we get this value is 2 pi F value is 25.13 radians per second. So this is the new. So amplitude of the vibration A is equal to F by K by root over 1 minus omega by omega n square whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square. So what is the new omega? 25.13. The natural frequency is omega n is 28.56. Okay, So first let us find out the amplitude for this case when the excitation frequency, external frequency is 25.13. So what is force? That is not changed, 30. And what is the stiffness of the spring? K. That is initial stiffness is not changed, that is as it is. The value is 2039 by root over 1 minus omega 25.13 omega n 28.56 square whole square plus 2 zeta. Zeta value is just now we have calculated. What is the value of zeta? Zeta is equal to 0.0526 into omega 25.13 by 28.56 whole square. So calculate this. So you get the amplitude is 0.0155 meters. So that is with the new frequency of 4 hertz with the damper, with the damping of zeta 0.526. This. Then now he has given with the same condition, no damping. That is zeta is 0. When I write zeta is 0, A is equal to F by K, this root over 1 minus omega by omega n square whole square. The zeta becomes 0, then this part becomes 0, you don't have that part. Then what is left over? F by K. So this root is there, if you take it out, 1 minus omega by omega n squares. So F value same 30, K value 2039, 1 minus omega 25.13, omega n 28.56, both having a squares. Okay, then substitute and get A zeta 0, A with zeta, that is 0.526. So this value is 0.0652. 0.0652 meters. Okay, then change of amplitude. Change of amplitude is equal to this 0.0652 minus 0.0155. So which gives 0.0497 meters. So you can see what is happened when you have removed your damper, then its amplitude has been increased to an amount of 0.0652. So the difference of the amplitude with damper and without damper, the difference is this, the rise in the amplitude. That is part B of the problem. So let us see in another problem on force damped vibration. The problem is like this. A body having a mass of 15 kg is suspended from spring which deflects 12 mm under weight of the mass. Determine the frequency of the free vibrations. What is the viscous damping force needed to make the motion aperiodic at a speed of 1 mm per second? if when damped to this extent, a disturbing force having a maximum value of 100 Newton and vibrating at 6 hertz is made to act on the body. Determine the amplitude of ultimate motion, isn't it? So this is another problem with the data like this. A body having a mass of 15 kg and suspended from a spring which deflects an amount of 12 mm. Under the weight of the mass, determine the frequency of the free vibration. So when you are asked to find out, determine the frequency of free vibration, it is nothing but a natural frequency, isn't it? So we know that Fn is equal to 1 by 2 pi root z by delta. This is the basic fundamental equation which we are aware. Fn is equal to 1 by 2 pi root k by m or 1 by 2 pi root z by delta. So the information available with us so 1 by 2 pi, okay, z 9.81 and the delta has to be written in meters, that is 12 into 10 power minus 3. Okay, then it gives the frequency, natural frequency, which is 4.55 hertz. Okay, that is the first part. Then what is determine the frequency of the free vibration over what is the viscous damping force needed to make the motion aperiodic at a speed of 1 mm per second, and it is aperiodic. So aperiodic with 1 mm per second. Okay, then when damped to this extent, a disturbing force having a maximum value of 100 Newton and vibrating with a frequency of 6 hertz is applied. Okay, then find out the amplitude of the ultimate motion or the amplitude of the one. So aperiodic, what is aperiodic? Yesterday we have discussed periodic and aperiodic. Aperiodic is a one which continuously oscillates, repeats. But what about aperiodic, which will not comes to another cycle? That is what we said, aperiodic. So we have said there are two types of aperiodic one. One is over damping as well as the critical damping. So let me take here, this is a natural frequency of the vibration, which is a critical damping case where C is equal to Cc, which is nothing but 2m omega n. So aperiodic is considered when it is damping is either equal to 1 or greater than 1. So let me take it is a resonant case where C is equal to Cc, critical damping. So this is 2 into m, 15 into omega n. So Fn is 4.55 hertz. So first find out what is the value of omega n. So omega n is equal to omega n is equal to so root z by delta. So this is simply by substituting it, you will get this is 28.59 radians per second. Okay, so omega n is equal to root g by delta, which gives this is nothing but multiplying 4.55 into 2 pi. So here additionally we got 2 pi, otherwise you will multiply there. So omega n is 28.59. Then we get the value of C, which is 857 Newton second per meter. So the damping value 857 Newton second per meter. If you convert this into Newton second per mm, this become 0.857 Newton second per mm. So this is the C value. So you are asked to find out when a force of 100 newtons with a frequency of 6 hertz is applied, what is the amplitude? Okay, A is, we know the equation is F by root over K minus m omega square whole square plus C omega whole square. So this is a similar equation which we have used in the previous problem. Only the thing, instead of zeta, here it is written in the form of a C. Okay, so A is equal to F by K m minus K into K minus m omega square whole square plus C omega whole square. Then what is the omega value here? Omega is 2 pi f, where frequency is given 6 hertz, 2 pi into 6, which gives the value of this is 37.7. So now the rest of the values are available. So f is given 100 and k is already obtained. That is, where is the k value? So k, okay, we'll find out k also. How to get the k value? So we know Fn is equal to 1 by 2 pi root k by m. Fn is equal to 1 by 2 pi root k by m. So 4.55 is equal to 1 by 2 pi root k by m 15. From there we can get the value of k, which is equal to 12,260 Newton per meter. So this k value I will substitute here, 12,260 minus m 15 omega. So what is the omega value? So the frequency which is given 37.7 square whole square plus C. So what is the damping? C 857 into omega 37.7 square. So substitute in this equation and then you will get this is 2.98 mm. So 2.98 mm. So actually you get this is in meters. You can convert that and then it becomes, this is obtained actually in meters, which is 10 power minus 3 meters you get. So if you convert this into mm, so then it get 2.98 mm. Because here when you substitute in this equation in terms of omega radians per second and C in terms of 857, you get this is in meters, which is 2.98 into 10 power minus 3 meters. So if you convert this into mm, then it will be 2.98 mm. So that is the amplitude of the vibration, 2.98. So what we did here is a very simple, given data we have bifurcated in this way. Mass and delta is given. From that I can find out first natural frequency from the basic fundamentals. Fn is equal to 1 by 2 pi root g by delta. So the natural frequency is obtained, that is 4.55 hertz. So once I get the natural frequency, then he has asked to find out the damping part, that is C. When it is free vibration, it is a critical damping, it becomes aperiodic in nature. So C is equal to Cc, that is 2 into m into omega n. M is available 15, omega n is available here, because this Fn is converted into omega by multiplying it by 2 pi. Simply you multiply with the 2 pi, or even you calculate here, you get this. This is 857 Newton per meter second. Then he has given in another case where the excitation frequency is converted as a 6 hertz and a force is 100 newtons given. So what is the amplitude of that vibration? So it is a forced damped vibration because it possesses certain amount of damping, and it also possesses an external force with a certain frequency. So this comes under forced damped vibration, which is governed equation is F by K minus M omega square whole square plus C omega whole square. We know entire data F, force known, stiffness can be calculated from the basic fundamentals. Once again, Fn is equal to 1 by 2 pi root K by M, where K can be substituted, K can be obtained by substituting this data. K we get 12,260. So then C is already available in the above case, and omega is the new frequency that is given 6 hertz. It is converted into radians into 2 pi, then 37.7 that has substituted. Okay, then the final value which you get amplitude of the vibration is 2.98 mm. So almost in force damped vibrations, this is the one equation we quite commonly use to solve many of the problems. So that also we have written in the earlier, in the other format, like A is equal to F by K by root over 1 minus omega square by omega n square, okay, whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square. So either this equation or this equation is same, because here omega n, if you write omega n, which is nothing but root K by m, or omega n is equal to K by m. If I rearrange it like zeta, if I write C by Cc, and where Cc is equal to 2m omega n, if I convert this terminology into this equation, this is the equation which you get. So same equation, not a new equation, but here I have written in terms of this because I have the value of C. That is why I have used this equation, isn't it? So with this we close the problems on free vibrations and forced vibrations. There is one more topic left, that is the torsional vibration. So that is actually vast in nature because it consists of a lot of cases. That is a free vibration, their forced vibration, and their 2-rotor system, 3-rotor system, and motor gearing system. There are n number of cases are there, but we'll see only the basic fundamentals of the torsional vibrations. If you have more amount of time, you can proceed to continue all categories of the problems, because as I said very beginning of the lecture, vibrations itself an elective course for so many universities. There is no limit for how many problems we solve, how many cases we can take. It is your interest that you can develop and you can proceed to solve as many number of problems as possible. Okay, thank you.